woke up and said, yes, let me get on the road here. And I hitchhiked with a young brother and sister who have a new media outlet because I got there late, but I made it. And I'm so glad to see all you young people here because we need you to take this movement to another level. We're getting tired, some of us. Some of us are gone, some of us are in exile. Some have been killed by the police all over the country. So I'm just grateful that you're here and that you have the courage to go forward. You're not living in fear. And something's happening on the planet today. As I headed out the door, there's a big piece happening in Chicago. Thousands of people, they shut down downtown Chicago. There's a big thing happening in Stone Mountain, Georgia, with the black militia. The Ku Klux Klan showed up and so did the black militia. So, and we're here today, I was just saying in the car, there's something going on today in the planet. So again, I'm not gonna say much. I'm just glad you're here. Be safe. Watch out for each other. It was a blessing on the way up. No problems. Go back to the community. Bring 10, 20 more people into this movement. Okay? People are ready. They're trying to close our post office down. You know, nobody wants that to happen. So we got some new allies coming to the fold. Just reach out to them. Don't worry about their past. Tell them just come join us. We're all working for the same reasons. Have a great day, everybody. Be strong. Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. Let's give Ms. Rosemary Nevels another hand. I'm going to ask Amelia and our marshals to please bring the Clorox wipes. We know we're still in the midst of a pandemic, so we want to keep the microphone clean. All right, so if Amelia or one of the marshals could bring the wipes so we can keep it moving. So next I'm going to call up a man who has joined us in recent months on the front lines. He's been challenging systems of oppression for a long time, but now he's out there in the streets with us. Please join me in welcoming Tucson Morrison to Drop It Like It's Hot. Come on, Tucson, drop some knowledge.
Thank you to Nakima and everybody that put this together. Real quick, I mean, this is how it's supposed to be done. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Bob Kroll has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Bob Kroll has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Bob Kroll has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Bob Kroll has got to go. I want to, everybody driving in here, you might have felt a little bit nervous. You might not have felt welcome. Some people even told us that we were sad when we showed up here. And some people even said we should go get a job. And that's real funny coming from a grown-ass white man sitting out here in the lap of luxury, Hugo, Minnesota. Let me tell you what you ain't got to worry about in Hugo. You ain't got to worry about anybody shooting your kid. You don't got to worry about cops knocking on your door for no damn reason. You don't have to worry about cops pulling you over for no damn reason. Here in Hugo, Minnesota, I'm going to take a wild guess that you don't have to fear for your life as much as you do in Minneapolis with Bob Kroll and his gang of thugs hunting down black and brown bodies 24/7 like they're getting paid for it, because they are. And I don't know if y'all saw something funny on the cop cars when you come in here. It says Minnesota's Pioneer Agency. Washington Sheriff, Minnesota's Pioneer Agency since 1840. Something they forgot is that in 1860s was the biggest mass hanging in this state. And so that's on your watch. If you want to sit in the car promoting Minnesota's Pioneer Agency that was around and has the blood of indigenous folks on their hands for hanging the most brown people in this country, go ahead. 37 people. And if you want to be proud for that and advertise that on the side of a car, go ahead. Shows us who you are. It shows us who you are. And I want to say, just to people right now that are listening, that are a part of this community, or any of the cops, that are watching this or are listening, you don't have to do this. You don't have to be on that side. Matter of fact, there really is no side. This is humanity right here. I don't care how many Polaris t-shirts you got. I don't care how many 2020 Trump t-shirts you got. You can put those in the garbage right now. It's okay. There's still time to be a human being. There's still time to show up for Black lives. Black Lives Matter is not political. Black Lives Matter does not mean you need to give up your lap of luxury. Black Lives Matter does not mean you won't get paid as much. Black Lives Matter does not mean your peace of mind has to go. It just means as a white person, you need to show up and start doing work for your community. It's funny when you look at this house, because this should be happening every day. And when you go to 38th in Chicago, some of my old childhood friends who live there, they don't get a lick of sleep. They don't get a lick of peace of mind. They don't get a lick of any stillness throughout, because it's now the epicenter of a modern day lynching of one of many black men in this state, a state that prides itself on being liberal, a state that prides itself on being democratic, a state that prides itself on trying to pass bullshit charter amendments and then pass it off to a charter commission and blame them, a state that never takes accountability.
That's right. That's right.
And that right there, that is what it gets you. You get to drive into a city and bully, murder, kill, pull over black and brown bodies all the time. And you get to come back here. You get to come right back here. And for that officer over there that's walking away, you can stand and still listen, brother, because you're getting paid right now. You're on the clock, you're getting paid, you can listen. The least you can do is listen. Because God knows you don't have to do this much listening on your job. You ain't ever had nobody talk to you like this. You ain't never had nobody hold you accountable like this. Now you looking over here. Keep your eyes over here, brother. I'm seeing you too. Part these signs, part these signs. I'm seeing you too right now. You don't have to look away. I'm right here. You don't have to be over there, dog. You don't have to do it. You're here protecting white power, rank, and privilege. You're here protecting a Klan member. You're here protecting a man that stood up and beat up a 15-year-old mixed-race boy. You're here protecting a murderer. You're here protecting a $500,000 man. $500,000 that have had to be settled outside of court. You're here protecting white power. You're here protecting the antithesis, the anti-Black Lives Matter. You're here sitting and standing and branding anti-Black Lives Matter. You don't have to be there. Nobody is gonna pull you over. Nobody is gonna kill your child like Bob Kroll would. You can pay attention, you can still pay attention, but you'd rather turn away. Rather turn away. And that's what needs to happen in this city. That's what needs to happen in this city every day. People in Hugo, they may feel like they can't rest, and that's good, because they're right here, and their neighbor is proud to wear white power logos, proud to roll with a white power bicycle gang, proud to beat up a 15-year-old biracial kid that could have been me. How much money have taxpayers settled outside of court to pay for Bob Kroll's bullshit? How much money has gone to this? And here's the deal. He doesn't get to do this without the city agreeing to most of the shit that the union can do. This is Fry. This is Lisa Bender. This is Walls. This is everybody complicit with this right here. Don't sit here and tell me that you're going to vote blue and then go against Bob Kroll. Don't sit here and tell me that you're going to show up against Bob Kroll and then go sing Kumbaya with some city council members. Everybody is complicit. Everybody has given the man this power that he has to do what he does. Tony Bausa was head of the union from 1980 to 1989 and said he couldn't get rid of the alcoholics, the criminals, and the psychos fast enough. But Bob Kroll is here, and he's going to protect all of them. He's going to protect all of them. And what you need to do is you need to show up, you need to disrupt cities like this, you need to disrupt communities like this, and you need to have hard conversations with your white constituents. Now, white people, now. And I'll wrap up on this. For the brown and black folks that are in this audience right now feeling nervous, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. You feel like anybody can shoot you at any time. You feel like showing up for these things is scaring the life out of you. You feel like you're losing a little bit of sleep or a little bit of your spirit or a little bit of your soul every time you come out here. But I guarantee you, I have the same feelings. I have the same fear. I have the same nervousness. I have the same insecurity. And you're not alone. You're not alone, brown and black folks that come out here. You are not alone. And we need to band together. We need to stick together. You need to make friends with somebody, a brown or black face you see in this audience, because that's your brother, that's your sister, that's your friend. That's family right there. And I would not be here without this newly found family right behind me. So the least you can do is follow the lead of black folks and then mind the space. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Bob Kroll has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Bob Kroll has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Bob Kroll has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Bob Kroll has got to go. All power to the people.
Let's give it up again for Tucson Morrison. Y'all can do better than that. It's a black man out here putting his life on the line to speak the truth. And y'all know that when black people speak the truth, we face retaliation and repercussions, and our lives are on the line. So we got to lift up our black people who are courageous enough to come out here and to clan country and bring the battle to the streets right in front of this man's house, the ultimate white supremacist in the city of Minneapolis. I know that there are some people out here scared, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not scared. Period, point blank. I'm more scared of what happens walking through the streets of Minneapolis and having a clown like that, full of power and machismo and white supremacy, trying to run up on me and my son and getting away with it. That's what I'm more afraid of. Not coming out here with a bunch of cowards. When we were driving up, I saw a white man trying to pack. Like, we packing too. Nobody's scared of your punk asses. Period, point blank. You're not going to keep terrorizing us and getting away with it. Hell no. So next I want to call up my husband in the struggle for freedom, justice, and equality, out here on the front lines, a black man who knows what it's like to be pulled over by the police. Let's give it up for Marquise Armstrong.
Thank y'all for giving me a round of applause. But I want y'all to give yourselves a round of applause. Because we traveled all the way out here to Hugo, in the heart of white supremacy.
Tell it.
Because they are sitting here, neighbors to a man that abuses and justifies the murder of black and brown men, women, and children here in the state of Minnesota and in the city of Minneapolis. So I really want you neighbors, I'm really glad you're out here. It is a beautiful Saturday. That barbecue smells good over there. I'm glad y'all out here so that y'all can hear this and understand who you are neighbors to. A white supremacist, punk-ass, scum-ass, weak-ass person who stands behind the badge, who will kick a handcuffed 15-year-old who's laying on the ground in the mouth.
Say it again.
Your neighbor, the one who I'm sure you know, will handcuff a 15-year-old child, probably the age around of some of you young ladies sitting right there, and kick him in the face. He is not a threat to Bob Kroll. Bob Kroll is a threat to us. I also just recently learned that just last year in 2019, Bob Kroll put a threat out to somebody. Bob Kroll told somebody to come to 18 whatever University Avenue, which is the Federation Union office, and come and kick his ass if they thought they were tough enough. And then he said they didn't show up because they were chumps. A cowardly cunt is what he called them. So Bob, we at your house, dog. Come outside. I'm not handcuffed, Bob. Come get at me. Come get at me with your tough ass. With that badge. You ain't nothing but a coward. And we know it when we see it. I smell it on you. Cowardice.
I smell bitches.
We do smell bitches.
I smell bitches.
But look, I want to talk about what I'm sure all of his neighbors have seen because it's traveled around the world. We lost one of our community members, Mr. George Floyd. Say his name.
George Floyd.
Say his name.
George Floyd.
Say his name.
George Floyd.
Your neighbor vowed that he would get those murderous cops their jobs back. Now, how in the world is it okay for him to look at the same video that all of us watched and say that that murder was justified and that those officers deserve to have their job back? No, 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 hell no. Those officers deserve not second degree, but first degree murder charges. Because there was intent there. Punk ass Chauvin, we saw it in his face. And he used 3 other officers, 2 of which were rookies, to help him to snuff out the life of a father, of an uncle, of a son, of a man, and treated him like he was less than a dog. And this man who resides right here is trying to convince the world that that behavior is okay. So we don't want and we will not accept an individual who thinks that that is okay. Hell no. I am a resident of Minneapolis since 1985. So I've been in this state for a very long time. And I've seen the atrocities happen at the hand of the police for 35 years. I was here when Bob was a beat cop. And that's literally what he did. Beat on the community that he swore to serve and protect. Bullshit. And instead, he is serving vengeance and evil on my people and your people. That's right. And I'm saying your people because we are all humans. My life is just as valuable as all of y'all's lives. And your life is just as valuable as my life. I need y'all to understand that. I am a man, a grown man. And like my wife said, I ain't scared at all. Fear, I have conquered that. Because if we don't stand for something, we will fall for anything. And this evil will continue to do what it has done. And we are all here standing in solidarity saying no more. We will not go back to the days of old. No. Hell no. We won't go. We have children. My father and his father and his father before him had to deal with this same thing.
That's right. That's right.
They were saying in the 50s, the 60s, the 40s, the 30s, stop killing us. Stop abusing us. We were fighting for our legal rights, our human rights back then. And if you go back and look at the history of the protesters and the freedom fighters and the activists from days of old, look at what they're saying. The same exact thing that we're saying in 2020. It's a damn shame. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Fannie Lou Hamer, Medgar Evers, and the list goes on and on and on of those who came before us. And in 2020, we're having to go back and look and read and say the same things and ask. I'm sorry, we are no longer asking. We are demanding justice. We are now no longer asking for seats at the table. We are taking seats at the table. I know for sure right now we got 2 elected officials right here. My sister Chantel, St. Paul School Board member, who's been out here stomping the ground since day one, fighting not just for our lives in the streets, but fighting for our young children that are in the schools, fighting so that they can get a equal education, a real education. And I got a brother here who just won his primary, John Thompson. So again, we are no longer asking for seats at the table. We're taking the seats. And I've said it before and I'm gonna say it again. If you don't want us at that table when we show up, we turning that motherfucker over and we sitting our own table there. Because we the people are the ones that's in control. We, the people, are the ones that are in control. Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. Look, y'all, me, my wife, and our entire team, we love y'all. We thank y'all for continuing to show up in solidarity with us, because you showing up continues to pour hope into us. I thank you for your courage, because the fear is real. I've conquered the fear, but I know it. It's real. What Toussaint talked about is real. But God gave us all something to combat fear, and it's called courage. And courage means feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Feeling the fear and stepping into it. And if you felt that fear today and you still came, your courage took over. So applaud yourself for that. Applaud yourself for that. The other thing that I want to speak to, because we've been out here for years fighting for this, and if you are not careful, if you do not take a moment to do some self-care, this thing will wear you out. And that's one of the tools of the system of white supremacy, is to try to wear us down, to render us useless, because we can't breathe. Not only because there are knees on our neck, but because we're wore down, because it doesn't seem that there's any progress being made. But I want you to know that progress is being made around the world. Not just here in Minneapolis, the epicenter, ground zero, but in our neighboring states, in our neighboring towns and cities, in our neighboring countries, y'all. They are joining us in solidarity to stand against the injustices. Because what is happening here is happening to brown and black and poor people around the world. Around the world. And what they don't want us to do is unite. I do this every time I speak. Hold your fist up. This fist not only represents power, but it represents unity. And individually, you singly with your one fist, you can make some progress. You really can. But when we join together like this, woo, yes, woo! The blow that we can deliver to this evil system of white supremacy is powerful, y'all. So let's continue to stand in solidarity. Let's continue to lift our fists. Let's continue to lift our voice. Let's keep our hands on the steering wheel. Let's keep our boots on the ground. All hands on deck. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. We love y'all. Peace.
All right, before we call up our next set of speakers, I want to give some instructions. So I know a lot of y'all have been driving. You were at Sears beginning at noon. You haven't had lunch. We have lunch for you. So I want to call our marshals over, a couple marshals, a couple volunteers to help bring around trays. If you want to sit down, you feel comfortable, you're welcome to sit down. We want to make sure y'all have time to eat. Am I in the right? Okay. All right. Elected official now. She's the first activist who was elected to public office. And she rides day and night for all of us and for our children. Let's give it up for Chantel Allen, head of Black Lives Twin Cities.
Black lives, they matter here.
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 See, we got to get a little bit louder. I'm going to need y'all to maybe blow your voice, because it took a long time to get to this spot, right? And y'all see all those folks that was looking at us crazy coming through here, right? So I need y'all to bring it up just a little bit louder so they understand what's going on, all right? Black lives, they matter here!
Black lives, they matter here.
Black lives, they matter here!
Black lives, they matter here.
Black lives, they matter here!
Black lives, they matter here.
Man, yeah, like Marquise said, give yourself a round of applause for getting up here today. This has been a long time coming, because Bob Kroll has been haunting us in Minneapolis for a lot of years. You know, I think I had my first experience during the Jamar Clark occupation, when his cronies came down and shot at peaceful protesters. While he sat up here in peace, right? We're always yelling in the streets, no justice, no peace, but yet he's sitting way up here in this house in peace. So I'm so glad we're in this space today to bring this here. So everybody say it with me, no justice, no peace. Prosecute the police. No justice, no peace. Prosecute the police. No justice, no peace. Prosecute the police. Because it's so real, you know. The police, they just get to walk around in Minneapolis terrorizing us, whether they're just mean mugging, riding slow, hopping out like the jump out boys, grabbing us up, or sitting there literally, let's back up, or shooting people in the head, Jamar Clark, or sitting and putting their knees on our neck till we can't breathe no more. This is how they get to walk around in Minneapolis, right? And then, when we step up and say we're not going to tolerate this, the chief of police actually takes action, and then he comes and puts them back on the force. So we just had a situation like that the other day. A couple years ago, there was a Christmas tree, right, that was decorated with Newport cigarettes, all kind of racist, stereotypical stuff, Popeye's chicken, Hennessy bottles and such, right? Chief of police said that's not tolerable. We can't keep terrorizing our communities like that, so he let the guy go. A couple days ago, Bob Kroll and his cronies allowed him back on our force again. So this guy is sitting in a Minneapolis PD car, riding around right now, looking at our brothers and sisters with that lens. That's traumatic. I'm glad that we're here today, though, because it's time for us to stand up for ourselves. It's time for us to stand up and say, we will not tolerate that no more. Silence has been violence for black people. It has been violent for black people, because a lot of us have been speaking out for a lot of years. Marquise talked about we can say 400 years, right? Slaves were somewhat silent, but there was definitely ways that they were resisting uprising, whether they want to teach y'all in school or not. It was happening, but the white folks around them remained silent. We moved into the Reconstruction.
black folks rose up again. We had all kind of politicians in place to start to change things so that it was a true democracy for everybody. And once again, white people remained silent when the laws went into play and lynching went into play, right? People were hanging from trees in their community, and they would just walk by like nothing was going on. Again, civil rights movement happened. We watched them assassinate our leaders. We watched people get beat in the streets, get hosed down like animals in the streets, and white folks still sat silent. So for hundreds of years, black folks have been brutalized in this country, and white folks continue to stay silent. So I'm glad that all you guys are here today, but I need you to get all your cousins and uncles who still aren't adhering to this message. Black Lives Matter. Say it with me, Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
I'm going to challenge all of you guys. I'm going to challenge all of you allies. This year at Thanksgiving, I want you to walk through your front door of your mom or your grandma's house, whoever's house y'all's eating at, and I want you to start chanting Black Lives Matter. It may piss off your cousin. It may piss off your uncle. But it's time to start having those conversations. And we need to have those conversations right at the Thanksgiving table. Because that's where a lot of lies are told year after year after year after year. Interrupt that bullshit. Interrupt that bullshit, right? So, yeah, it's a lot. You know, I do suffer from a little bit of fear about Kroll. You know, that the white supremacist shooting, continuing to watch him terrorize North Side. I hang out on the North Side. I go to Avenue Eatery. I see his motorcycle guys riding up and down Broadway, terrorizing us. So I do suffer from a little bit of fear. But today, I was brave. And you were brave too. We were brave because we're tired. We were brave because we're done. We were brave because we're fed up. And we needed to let Bob Kroll know that. We needed to let him know that when we say no justice, no peace, that means directly at him too. He is not obsolete from being seen, being on our, for us being on his lawn. And we're here today. So, yeah. How are y'all feeling? How is everybody feeling though? Are y'all feeling powerful? Because y'all look powerful. My name is Chantel Allen, and I'm going to get y'all rocking one more time, and then I'm going to put this mic down, because I just need y'all to just resonate in this space. We need to leave our energy up in this space.
That's right.
We need to let the neighbors know, we need the people around to understand that our energy belongs all throughout this entire country, because the Constitution is for us too, even if it's not written perfectly for us, right? It still belongs to us because we were born into it. And so we gotta let it flow. So rock with me one more time. Black lives ain't matter here.
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 First of all, Assalamu alaikum. Salam means peace. My name is Mohammed. I'm with Care, Minnesota. And I'd like to start off with a little chant. No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Prosecute the police. No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Prosecute the police. So this idea of police, right, didn't come from America, right? It came from originally Manchester, United Kingdom. And the reason why the police was created was to stop people from rioting so that they can get better working conditions. And then London liked that idea. And then Boston was like, oh, that's a good idea because there's people that are protesting and we don't want that. And then Chicago and so on and so forth, right? So the idea of policing in general was created to suppress people's rights for asking for better conditioning, right? Yep. And this is 100 plus years later, and here we are.
That's right.
The same thing, right? You've seen what Trump is doing, right? He sent out all those federal officers to go to Portland and what? Stop protesters, right? you're seeing people in Minneapolis protesting, and what the National Guard came here to do what? Stop protesters, right? So this whole entire idea of policing was never for the community. It was never to protect us, but to protect people for asking for better rights and conditions, right? So what we're asking for is not radical, right? It might sound crazy to some people, but it's not crazy. We're asking for justice, right? We're asking for justice, right? We're asking for accountability, right? These are things that we teach our kindergartners, right? As soon as our kids learn how to lie, we correct them. So why are we having these conversations with grown individuals who we elected? That doesn't make sense, right? So then, if they're not listening to us, we gotta kick them out, right? We gotta demand for them to leave because they are working for who? Ultimately, they're all working for us, right? So I'm not here to give you guys all a morality lesson and so on and so forth, but we have to understand that the media plays a huge part in this, right? And the way that they attack things is from a strong link perspective, right? So that basically means that, hey, if we fix one thing, then everything should be okay. So if you throw money at a problem, or if we do this, then everything should be all right. But when it comes to things like policing, your worst cop represents the whole entire system. Because the system itself was not for the creation of good cops. It was for protecting buildings and rich people and so on and so forth, and to suppress rights. So it's not crazy that the things that we're seeing today is not because of one bad cop, it's because of a bad system. That's right! Right? And the system was never designed for us. So that's why if you see somebody that's having a mental health crisis, a police officer is there. There's a homeless issue, police officers are there. Right? Like, it doesn't make sense. Two loved ones are having a fight, it's a domestic situation, police officers are there. But the idea of policing was never for those things. So we gotta think about all of those things, and we gotta start having these conversations. So, as we have seen, is that we've been asking for things for so long. For so long we've been saying please and let's come to the table and so on and so forth. But all those things changed when George Floyd was murdered. We're not doing that ever again. We are demanding justice, and we're gonna take what's ours by any means necessary. So we are not going to ask for things. So I'm really proud to see a lot of individuals that came from protests and so on and so forth take all these, city, positions and so on and so forth, but we need more, right? And if we're voting blue and blue's not working for us, that doesn't make sense. So we have to start asking these tough questions. We gotta start having these tough conversations, and ultimately, Bob Kroll gotta get the hell out of here.
Hell yeah!
Hey, ho ho, Bob Kroll has got to go. Hey, ho ho, Bob Kroll has got to go. Hey,
For Muhammad. We appreciate you, brother. So I want to call up Michelle Gross. I think she's working as a marshal today. So if anybody sees Michelle, if you can send her in my direction, that would be great. In the meantime, oh, she's coming. Michelle, where are you at? All right, so I'm going to call up Michelle Gross. She is the head of Communities United Against Police Brutality. She's been holding the city of Minneapolis and the state of Minnesota accountable for decades for police accountability. She might be, 4 foot something? But she packs a powerful punch. Let's give it up for Michelle Gross.
So I wasn't actually planning to speak today, but I'm really, 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 really happy to be in front of Bob Kroll's house. That racist can't even make it to be at his house. He's over here threatening people and all of this. And then when we come to his house, hey, where are you, buddy?
You're a coward.
The little bitch is gone. Whatever. You know, whatever, right? So Bob Kroll's the problem, no question about it, but he ain't the only problem.
That's right.
Because all of these city council members, including the ones that are sitting right now, and the ones that have been sitting, and our boy mayor, and all of them, you all know who I'm talking about now, all of them have allowed this to go on. That man has had 54 complaints against him, 11 successful lawsuits against him. You know, he's shot 3 people. This is a guy that should have been gone so long ago, and he becomes, because of his position, the de facto policy maker for the Minneapolis police, because what he tells the regular officers is, you don't gotta follow the rules. I'm just gonna have your back if you don't. You don't have to follow any rules. You don't have to listen to your chief. You don't have to do anything like that. You do what the hell I tell you to do. Because I think brutal cops, this is Bob Kroll speaking now, not me. I think brutal cops are just great. That means they're doing their job. That's what he said, you know. So this guy, and we know that he does this. When we were, after 3 years of working our asses off, we finally got rid of that fear-based training, like Bulletproof Warrior and all that. The city finally says, oh, we don't have any more fear-based training. What does Bob Kroll do? He goes out and gets a donation from some outfit to keep on giving them that training. So, you see what I mean? He's the de facto policymaker here. Let's be very, real about the role this man plays. It ain't just he's the head of their police federation, which is a pretend-ass union. It's not just that. He is making the rules for these police.
Right.
So therefore he is responsible for their conduct because he validates that conduct. He creates the culture that allows it to continue.
Yep.
And this is unacceptable to us. You live your ass out in some lily-ass white suburb, and you bring yourself into our communities?
Tell him.
Oh, hell to the no.
Tell him.
Stay yourself out here, Bob Kroll. Get yourself a job out here. That's fine.
Yep.
Just keep your ass out of our town.
Yeah.
And while we're at it, the police chief, the city council, the mayor have had 110 reasons to fire your ass. They should have done it by now. They never did, so they're responsible too.
That's right.
You know, when they come out, they wave a pretty little badly written charter amendment, badly written, falsely written in a way that could never work. And they come out and go, here's our solution. We're going to solve the little problem. But you don't take on Bob Kroll? It don't matter how many pretty names you call the cops. It don't matter how many pretty departments you put them under, how many little fluffy things you do like that. It won't matter. Because as long as this guy is still the policymaker for the Minneapolis Police Department, your ass is never going to make any way forward. And that's the facts. And that's on the city council, the mayor, the police chief, everybody else that's in the way.
Yep.
And until Bob Kroll is gone, and all of his spawn, if you will,
His ilk.
you know, the rest of the ones, because it ain't just him. He's a one person, right? He's a powerful person, but he's one person. He got all these people waiting in the wings, so as soon as he retires, they can take over. And they all just like him, make no mistake about it.
Yep.
So as long as that continues, and as long as the city council refuses to even negotiate a decent contract with them, refuses to listen to the recommendations from the community, refuses to even, they don't even look at the contract before they sign it. They just keep signing off and signing off and signing off. And as long as they keep empowering this man and his union, fake-ass union, yeah, you know what it is, because federations, they fake unions, okay? But as long as he keeps empowering, the city keeps empowering them that way, we will never change the culture of this police department. We will never be able to get some justice for people.
Right.
This has got to end now.
Yeah.
Bob Kroll gotta go!
Yeah.
Bob Kroll gotta go!
All right, next we're going to call up some folks who have been literally holding it down for many, many years. They experienced the loss of someone in their family to police violence in Denver. And they are a powerful couple who will cuss out the police if they need to, who will shut shit down if they need to, who bring our native and indigenous community to the forefront. Tanya and Gabe from Native Lives Matter. Let's give them a hand, y'all. Y'all see their t-shirts. Compliments of Kim Handy Jones. I smell bitches.
Hi, everybody. We're going to start off with a chant. I smell bitches.
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 So that's right, we'll cuss out the cops any chance we get. It's like healing for us. We've been through a lot, our family, my mother-in-law, our kids. Like Toussaint was talking about, we've been experiencing police brutality since the colonizers came to Minnesota, South Dakota, North Dakota. This is all indigenous land. A lot of people forget that, you know. It's stolen land built with stolen hands. And our people were actually hanged down in Mankato the day after colonizer Christmas. And they sent 2 of our best warriors off of their homelands, and they searched for them and went to Canada and found them, and then they brought them back here as well and hung them too. So it's actually 40 people that were hanged down in Mankato.
That's sick.
We have Fort Snelling over by Minneapolis, which was our version of a concentration camp. They had our women and our children over there, and then they took them down to St. Louis and threw them over the side of the boat when they, you know, died of starvation or disease. And then they brought them back up and continued to dump them off and dropped us off at these forts. So you have like Fort Thompson over in South Dakota, that's where I'm from. So we've been dealing with this for a very long time. And one of the things when I get angry out in the street is I say, don't make me go all 1862 on you. So if you know that story, you know what I'm talking about. That's how it's gonna be. There's not too many indigenous families that come out because they're scared of the cops. So we come out for them. We fuck shit up for them. We fuck shit up for my brother-in-law and for his son, Emmanuel. A lot of people don't know that my brother-in-law has a son. His name is Emmanuel. Very handsome, very smart. One thing that breaks our heart though is he tells his grandma that he wants the cops to kill him too so he can go see his dad. And this is the mentality of a 10-year-old little boy. And it's coming from what they see also, not by what us are experiencing or telling them. It's what they're experiencing as well. Our children at home. Since we moved to Minneapolis, we've been gang stalked. If you don't know what gang stalking is, please look that up. We get harassed by the police everywhere we go. They sit outside of our house. They do the fake calls to come into our yard. Oh, we got a call of, you know, a dog at large, but you just want to come to our house. So our kids experience a lot. There's cops that follow them to friends and to school and home and all of that. And it's like, you guys have so much time to worry about the little shit. When you're not worrying about big shit. And for the officer, Derek Chauvin, he murdered an indigenous man before he killed George Floyd. His name is Wayne Reyes. He also shot another indigenous man who lived, and his name is Leroy Martinez. A lot of people don't know that.
Serial killer.
He is a serial killer. That's what they are, serial killers with a badge. But like the song says, without that badge, you a bitch and a half. I think you way more bitches than that. When we come out here and we see all of your faces, familiar, unfamiliar, we are so thankful that you guys ask us to come and be in your space. Even though, you know, me and Gabe are screaming out, this is indigenous land! But still, it's respectful, you know? It's about respect. And that's one thing that everybody needs to really hang on to is the respect. Respect each other's areas, respect each other's voices, you know? We may not all agree, but still, we're in the same fight. I start telling people this and they tell me, well, Jesus loves you, but Jesus was killed by cops too.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Jesus was killed by cops too. So, yes, Jesus may love me, but I love my people and I love what we do because it pisses people off like that. It pisses people off and they gotta come and they gotta express their opinion, which really don't matter because you guys ain't here. You guys get to sit in cushy suburbia drinking your White Claws and we're out here. And you can flip us off and throw drinks and talk shit. But I have children that are that age sitting right there. I have daughters that age who are sitting right there. And if that's the type of behavior that you treat those kids, that's very shameful. Very shameful.
Smells good.
Palo Santo.
Make them famous, y'all.
Jesus Christ is watching.
So,
Oh wow, what's going on here?
I totally understand your anger, sir. I totally understand your anger. We're angry too. Why do you think we're here? We're very angry.
That's right.
Our people are, even after you get to, even after we leave, you guys can still sit here in cushy suburbia, but yet we're still fighting for what your children are going to go through because police kill white people too. Archer Amorosi, Timmy Henley, Brandon Buick, Toby Heisler. They kill your people too, so if that's what you support, that's disgusting. That's totally disgusting, and we feel so bad for you. We feel so bad for you, but also we're ashamed of you too. We're ashamed of you. And you can sit there and bite your tongue and bite your lip and shake your head and wave your White Claw, but still, we're going to be out here fighting for what your kids are going to be fighting for too. So instead of being disrespectful fucking bitches, you should come out here. Because we all know that if the cops weren't here, we'd get down. That's right. I'm all about going to jail any day for my people. Any day. For any of my people. When you push the button, it's going to trigger something. I know. And I got your guys' back as well. So, we just want to say thank you for always allowing us to use our voice, because that's all we have. When we're out here in the streets, people don't see us, but they hear us. And that's all we need. That's all we need is for everyone to hear us and to see us. That's why we fight so hard and we get angry because we get forgotten. We get forgotten on every single platform that has to do with this so-called government and so-called America. This entire America, from the tip to the bottom, is indigenous land. And so when we come out and we see these white people saying, this is my land. No, it's not. It never was and it never will be. You can go home too. You have a home too. This is my home. This is my children's home. This is my ancestors' home. So you all can go home too when you disagree. Go home. Go home. Get the boats and go home. Otherwise, be out in the street supporting everybody. Even if you don't get along, there's still people that need support. All of these families that come out who are hurt by the police and still continue to be hurt by the police when they're not getting their cases heard, when they close their cases and find everything justified, those families need help. A hug, you know. We're not asking for your money. We're asking for your sympathy and your love. That's what needs to be throughout this whole entire movement. Everyone thinks it's about anger and go out and hurt people. No. We're out here to love and show the love that George Floyd doesn't get to see. We have lots of families across the country who have went through the exact same thing. There's indigenous people with the same last words, I can't breathe. But you guys don't get to hear about them until me and my husband come, and then we start putting their names out and start doing our research and reaching out to the families.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's a part of my healing also. I have PTSD, everything you can think of. I have all of it, but screaming on this mic and screaming at the police and, you know, at least educating you guys on what's going on around you, that is my healing. And I'm so thankful that you guys come out every single time.
We got your back!
Every single time. That's amazing. We love that. We love that about you guys. You guys are so dedicated to these families, and we thank you guys so much. When Gabe and I been through a lot. Gabe and I been through so much in the past few years that we've been together. We had the choice of staying in South Dakota or coming to Minneapolis to where our family is. And we chose to move to Minneapolis because of the activism and because of the love. So that's why we're here. This is the land of my ancestors, and it just calls you. It just calls you to go home. So now I'm home. And now that I am home, a lot of shit has got to change. These people like him need to start asking our people how they can help.
That's right.
What they can do for our people. A lot of us think that we're what we call blanket ass Indians, hang around the fort Indians, and that's not what we are. A lot of us have careers and homes and families, and you know, we pay bills and taxes. There's no free check for us, none of that. So we're trying to make it in Minnesota, and the more that you guys show up, the more that we want to stay. The more we want to live here and raise our family here. And one thing was, he said that you may have felt uncomfortable coming here. You may have felt nervous or a little scared to come here. I did too, just for a second, because I think about my kids first. What if they don't have a mom? What if they don't have a dad? But then that other time, it turns into anger. And that's ancestral anger.
Tell it.
Generations of anger. When I see people who just think that they can just live here and not acknowledge what's going on with their barbecue and their beer, and they shake their head, and you know, and we can come to your house too next. We can slide on over and come to your house too. It ain't no thing, you know. You guys act like you scare us, and we're not scared. We're not scared. With your fake ass blue lines flags, and we stole that shit last week. We'll come steal that shit from you too and burn it right there. So for all the people sitting in the back, you know, flipping us off and talking shit, and you know, there's a better purpose for you on this earth than what you're doing right there. And if you are in our way, flipping us off and talking shit, then we'll just bulldoze right over you too. Because nothing ain't stopping this.
Let's go.
Nothing ain't stopping this movement here. It will keep going and going and going until all of our demands are met. And bitch, I got a lot.
Hey.
So thank you guys for always listening to me, and I know sometimes I feel like I intimidate you guys, but I'm so sorry. But that's my protection. That's my protection, you know? So thank you guys for coming out and supporting everybody, not just me and Gabe, not just our indigenous people, supporting everybody. There's people who are brand new to this and some who are old school and veterans, you know? So thank you for all of the support. We appreciate that in every single way. We tell all of our family members about this. We have a chat for just the indigenous families, and we get on there and we share our videos, and they're so proud and they wish that they could be here. So like showing them love through them videos is a way for them to heal too. So thank you guys.
We got your back.
You right. I won the primary election, and y'all can quote me on this. I am going to the state capitol with this same fucking message that black people are tired of being killed in these fucking streets, and y'all defending this shit. Listen when I tell y'all, the KKK ain't never left the state of Minnesota. As a matter of fact, we in clear land right now. Now y'all run y'all coward ass in the damn garage. Come on out here and face us, white racist motherfuckers. Ain't nobody gonna sugarcoat racism. Wasn't nothing pretty about Bob Kroll kicking that 15-year-old boy in his face. So why the fuck is we so peaceful in this raggedy ass neighborhood? Fuck your motherfucking peace, white racist motherfuckers. Shouldn't have gave me the microphone. Shouldn't have gave me the fucking microphone. Your coward ass standing way the fuck back there with a Blue Lives Matter sign. I can't unzip this goddamn black skin I'm in. You can take that sign and stick it in your ass. Yeah, they ain't never seen a legislator like this before. Now back to what I was saying. We coming for everything that you motherfuckers took from us. We coming for them seats. We coming for the money you owe us. We coming for this. Wait a minute. This whole goddamn state burned down for $20 goddamn dollars. You think we gonna fuck about burning Hugo down? And y'all running y'all coward ass back in the garage and changing shirts. Blue lives don't mean shit to black people. Bro, where you go? Tucson. They ain't never had to worry about the police pulling them over and putting them on the goddamn hood of their car and sticking their fingers in our ass looking for fucking dope. And come on, man. Have y'all had to worry about that shit in Hugo? Have you had to worry about the don't hide your face, Karen? Take that shit off your face. The Klan wear uniform. Don't hide your face, Karen. Take that shit off your face. You a coward. You are a coward. The Klan used to wear masks. The Klan used to wear masks. Now you want to be what? I know what I'm talking about. This ain't rhetoric, bro. I've been black all my life. I didn't come here to be peaceful with Hugo and kumbaya, my lord. Fuck Hugo, Minnesota. Fuck Bob Kroll and fuck anybody who support his racist ass. Thank you, Washington County, for providing free coverage for this. Fuck Bob Kroll. I said it. And if you uphold racism, fuck you too. We coming for what's ours. Y'all owe us. God damn it, we paid for that shit. Them taxpayers' dollars that paid for that shit. They came out our pockets. When it come to policing, we paid for that shit. God damn it, y'all owe us a refund on our goddamn money. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of marching about it. I'm tired of people saying we just protesters, so let's take our ass to the Capitol. Let's take our ass to the motherfucking mayor's office. Let's take our ass to the city council seat, to these school boards. Let me tell y'all something about the school board. They used to beat us for learning. Now they call that shit a motherfucking achievement gap. I know what the fuck I'm talking about because my kid's black. They ain't got to worry about that in Hugo, Minnesota. Any way they can oppress black people, they've done it. And we just right here telling y'all we sick of it. We pulling up. We pulling up to your house. We'll pull up to your house. And what if the Washington County Sheriff over there, we'll pull up to your goddamn house too. We sick of y'all killing black people. And if y'all don't understand that, we gonna pull up. Y'all supporting this bullshit and acting like racism don't exist here. I said it, I said it again. 3 black men were hung in Duluth. There was an audience watching these black men, cheering these people on when they was hanging these black men for something they did not do. Where the fuck you think their grandkids went? Where you think their nephews and the people that was in the crowd, where you think they had kids? They moved here to Hugo, Minnesota, Braden, Minnesota, Woodbury, Minnesota. Some of these cows used to get their ass whooped in high school, and now they got on the Blue Lives Matter shirt. Fuck Blue Lives. There's no such thing as a blue. Show me a blue life. Show me a fucking blue life. I cannot unzip this costume I'm in, I promise y'all. I've been black all my life. I can't scrape this toast off my skin. With these cowards in these blue uniforms, they can take that shit off and go back to being regular people, shopping in our stores, making money off our goddamn tax dollars. I'm glad y'all making them uncomfortable here in Hugo, Minnesota. God damn it, we'll pull up to Duluth, Minnesota. We'll pull up to Virginia, Minnesota. We'll pull up to Haven, Minnesota. We trying to tell you that we sick of y'all white ass treating us like shit and acting like we comfortable with it. I'm not comfortable getting my ass kicked by you coward ass white motherfuckers in uniform. And if you are comfortable with my voice, do something about it. Oh, they ain't never seen a legislator like this before, y'all. I'm not Bobby Joe Chow. I'm not none of them. I'm none of them legislators. And then shout out to the brothers, but I'm not that motherfucker that come and sugarcoat racism, y'all. I'm not about to come here. I didn't come to play with y'all. I didn't come to say, oh my God, we must overcome it. We done overcame 400 years of bullshit. We're not gonna reimagine shit no more. We're gonna make this shit reality. Y'all didn't think we was coming to Hugo. Here we are. Thank you for the aerial coverage, and please tell Bob Kroll, I know you're watching live, fuck you, fuck this house, and fuck the racist ass Minneapolis police officers that keep brutalizing our goddamn community. I love y'all.
Let's go! Let's give it up for John Thompson!
DJ.
All right, this took me off guard. So I just want to say we need to make sure that we destroy this racist ass system, okay? Because this has been going on way too long, okay? And we need to make sure that we hold them accountable, right? So we need to make sure that we have our accountability, right? Because these motherfuckers are getting away with murder out here, all right? And so what we need to do is we need to make sure that we keep marching, right? And we stay out here, all right? So we came all the way to Hugo. Well, this isn't like your badge, okay? This isn't like your Facebook profile picture, all right? This is real, okay? This is real for all the black people out here and all the people of color. This is what we have to live through every fucking day, okay? And we need to stay out here until we get some real systemic change, okay? And that bullshit that City Council did with the Charter Amendment, that's fucking bullshit. We need actual change, not changing the name of the police force to the Peace Foundation or whatever they are going to change it to. We need actual change. We need to see accountability. We need community control of the police, okay?
Go ahead, DJ.
And we need to make sure that after we get community control of the police, that we get the right people elected, okay? So community control of the police, CPAC, that is going to be accountability board that would have 7 elected officials. And in those elected officials, they would have the power to hire, fire, convict, and charge killer cops. And they would also have the ability to come up with the rules too. So they'd be able to say if they're going to have guns, if they're going to have body cams, they're going to be able to do all that. So we need to fight for things like that to ensure that things like George Floyd do not happen again.
Yeah, listen.
And with that, I want to end this by saying that Black trans lives matter. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Von Kroll has got to go. Hey.
Black lives, they matter here.
I said black lives, they matter here.
Black lives, they matter here.
I said native lives, they matter here.
Native lives, they matter here.
I said native lives, they matter here.
Native lives, they matter here.
Disabled lives, they matter here.
Disabled lives, they matter here.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
No justice, no peace. Prosecute the police. 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 Make it any part, y'all.
We need to identify them, but we need
Boots on the ground. We're here. We're here. To shut this shit down. Come on. Boots. Boots. Boots on the ground. We're here. We're here. To shut this shit down. Prosecute the police. No justice. No. Prosecute the police. No justice. No. Prosecute the police.